So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you guys can create your own personal KDP coloring book interiors. This is something you guys actually requested on my last KDP video. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of value in this video. I did a lot of research to put this one together for you guys. So make sure to drop a like, as that would be very much appreciated. And with that said, let's jump straight into this. Hi guys, my name is Phil and welcome to the Money Game YouTube channel. For anyone that's new around here, I make print on demand content to both motivate and to give you guys tips and tricks on how you can actually improve your print on demand stores and make money in general. For anyone who is actually new around here, please do click on that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on my future videos. Down in the description, I also have a free print on demand start guide for anyone who's looking to get into it, and for anyone who's looking to make it into more of a full-time thing. I also have a paid step-by-step guide which is linked down below. But yeah, as for today, we're going to be talking about Amazon KDP coloring books. So jumping straight into it, I've gone on a listing that's currently on Amazon of a coloring book. As you can see, this is the Farm Animals coloring book for toddlers. So you can be really creative with what you do in terms of the covers. As for today, we're not going to be talking too much about the covers, mainly the interiors. But if you're looking for ideas for what to do for covers, you could always look on Amazon to see what other people are doing as well. I've actually got the Helium extension added on my Google Chrome, so allow me to see a few stats in regards of how this book is selling. So I'm going to quickly go through that with you guys. Now this chart here shows the BSR ranking. Now the lower the BSR ranking is, the better. BSR stands for bestseller rank, for those who don't know. This book's BSR is 274,000, which is fairly good. Some BSRs for certain books are usually in the millions. And for those who don't really know what that means or what that stands for, I'll pretty much try to explain this in layman's terms. And the only layman's terms I understand is earnings in regards of what that book is making. So if we put the BSR ranking here, let me take the comma off, and then we calculate sales, it will tell us that this book is making 18 sales roughly a month, one sale a day on average. Now what this means, I actually calculated this before, so I'll tell you guys straight up. So what this means revenue wise, this person is probably making $125.10 in general in regard of Amazon earnings, but the profit that they get and they get paid to them off this book is roughly around $27. And to calculate that, I just calculated roughly the lowest amount of profit people can get for selling a book for $6.95. And as you can see here, they've got a listing price showing as $6.95, so that's going off this pricing, even though we can see $6.26 here. So I'm guessing they may be, you know, playing around with the price, trying to see what works best. And as for what I'm going to be showing you how to create in this video, is pretty much this. Now this is the interior. So the first page says this belongs to, and as we scroll down, there's a white page which will pretty much be the back of this. And then as we scroll down, obviously we've got our first coloring image, white page for the back of that page, and you know, it continues in a similar fashion. So we have a page with an image and then the white page. The white page is pretty much the back of the coloring page, mainly because if we have two images back to back, the coloring could seep through onto the other side and mess that up for the buyer. So it's all about pretty much improving the buyer experience. Now to actually do this, I'm going to be creating this through OpenOffice. Now I'm showing you OpenOffice mainly because it's a free alternative to PowerPoint, because I understand not everyone may have PowerPoint to be able to do this. Now OpenOffice is a software you can download that comes with things like PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, but it's not PowerPoint and Microsoft Word. It's kind of like their own version of it. Either way, if you don't have PowerPoint, you want to download OpenOffice. If you do have PowerPoint, you can actually follow along on that, and you can do exactly what I'm going to be showing you to do in this video. Now with what we're going to be doing, pretty much once you're done, this is what it will look like. So you pretty much have slides with information that you've added onto them. And if I click on this slide, you can see this black box that's there. It's kind of like an outline that I added in, and then obviously the image is also something else as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to obviously create the multiple pages, how to get this border created for yourself, and then importantly, or most importantly, how to actually import images, as well as where to get images like this one for commercial use, so you guys can actually use them for free. Right guys, so when you start off, this is pretty much what you will see. So you have a blank page that says click to add title, click to add text. What you want to do is start off by going on format. You want to go on page here, and then you want to change the width and the height. Now width is 8.5 inches, so I'll put 8.5 and then IN, and then it will change to centimeters, but you have the right inches. And then height, you want to put 11 inches, so 11 IN, and then enter that. So yeah, once that's done, what I usually like to do, I like to X off that top box, and here you could literally write this book belongs to. This process is not really hard at the start, and then if you hold shift, you can click on the dash, and then you have a little space below where, you know, if this is a coloring book for a child, obviously they can write their name there, and that's one thing done, one thing out the way. What I always do as well, I usually duplicate the page, and then on the next page, so the page that I'm on now, I just make sure that this page is blank. So I X that off, then I duplicate it again. So once that's duplicated, this is where I'll then add the border, which I'm going to quickly show you guys how to create. Now you can literally do it in 30 seconds to a minute. It's not hard at all. So yeah, let me quickly show you how you guys can create a border very quickly. Now usually I would use Photoshop, but I understand not everyone can use Photoshop, so a free online alternative is Photopea. So here you'd click on new project, and then you change this to inches, and then you want to go 8.5 and then by 11 inches. So very similar kind of to the size of the book and the sort of canvas you created on PowerPoint. So yeah, once that's done, it'll look something like this. You want to go on a rectangle, and you just want to kind of go a little bit inside of the square, so not too wide, but you know, kind of inside it a little bit, just like I did there. You want to make sure that there's no filling, and you want a stroke, so you want a color stroke that's black. And then once that's done, literally you can click off, and then you have your outer border created. So yeah, it'll look something like this. You just want to remove the background. Once you've removed the background, like I've done here, you can then download it. You can always make it thicker if you want, and to do that, you literally go here, so on the size little chart there, and you can make it thicker if you wanted to. I like to leave it fairly thin. So yeah, that one's pretty much up to you what you do there. And then you just go on file, export as PNG, save, and then you can quickly download that. Yeah, once that's done, it'll download your border automatically to your computer. And then once you have your border, you'd come back on here, and then you literally just drag it on. Sometimes obviously it doesn't drag it on exactly where you want it, so you just make sure that it's somewhat central. Once this is done, just to make sure you don't have to keep doing this, you can then just duplicate your pages to make sure that they all have that border. Now every page after the page that you have the image on will be a blank page like this one. But to make life easier for yourself, I would say generate maybe 20 of these pages if you're looking to have a 10-page coloring book. And then on the pages with the white spots like this one here, you just make sure to remove the border. So let me just quickly duplicate that. So you'd come on this page, and then you just delete the border. So it would be a white page, a page with the border, white page, page with the border, and then obviously you can go on, so on and so on like that. Now what I would then do here is then add the image in. Now obviously this is the part that a lot of you guys may have been struggling with in the past in regards of, where do I find images? How do I make sure that they're suitable for a coloring book? If you weren't already taking notes at this point, you're definitely going to want to take some notes here. You want to come onto pixabay.com. Now what you want to type in the search is coloring book, and then you can put animals. In this example, obviously I made an animal styled coloring book. You'd search this, and then as you can see, there's a lot of options. Now if you click on an option like this one, for example, it shows you the Pixabay license, free for commercial use, no attribution required. What this means is that you can use it in your Amazon KDP books and you don't have to give any sort of attribution. It's okay to use. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this already, but with this image, it's white inside. Now, if you're going to put this on a coloring book, you don't want to be white inside. But what you do first, you'd go on free to download, select your size, and then you would download it. After clicking through all of these things, you download it, and obviously it's just showing me the downloaded image here. And at this point, you'd want to remove those white spots that are actually showing up on that image. Now, when I first started using KDP in regards to making coloring books, I struggled with this a little bit, and I had to do a little bit of research to find websites that allow me to remove that white filling inside images. And I found one that made life a lot easier for me, and it was this one. It's called imageonline.co. Now, what you would do with this site is pretty much drag on the image you've just downloaded. If your image doesn't drag on, you can just go and select image from your PC, laptop, whatever. Obviously, you would need to find the folder that you saved it in, but once it's dragged on, it'll look something like this. Now, all you'd need to do is to click remove white BG. When you click that, you then have an image that looks like this. It's now just an outline without any filling, and then you can actually just click download image and it will download pretty much the outline without any white filling in it. Once that is done, you'd pretty much jump over to your PowerPoint or obviously your open office file, and what you want to do here is look in your downloads or wherever you saved that outline file, and then you just want to drag it in on here. So when it's dragged in, you can move it about, you can resize it if you want. I recommend that you hold shift when you're resizing, then it keeps it at the same size. So I'm just holding shift there, and then if you click off it, you need to kind of refine where the square is. You can just do that by clicking around the edges and it will usually pop up. And yeah, you can pretty much place your image where you would like it to be. And as you go through obviously creating your coloring book, it will be the same process. You'd pretty much be jumping onto Pixabay, looking through Pixabay, and then deciding as to what you are going to add to your coloring book to make it more interesting for the people that are going to be buying it. So if I was to jump back onto Pixabay right now, you can see obviously I've used this cat, maybe I'll then use this rabbit, and then maybe I'll use this horse, and I'll just go through using different images. Some images don't actually have any white filling in them, so you wouldn't need to take the extra step of removing that. But for those that do have white filling, you'd need to take that extra step of using this website that I showed you guys, so imageonline.co. And once you guys do that, you'd end up with something that looks like this. So you've got the first page that says this book belongs to, obviously the white page in the middle, which will be the back of these pages. And then if I go through, you can see that we've got a variation of different images in there. You know, I've tried to be a bit creative, make it look nice, and this is a coloring book I feel like could potentially sell and could potentially do well on Amazon KDP. The good thing about coloring books, you could make one coloring book like this and just make a variation of different covers and still have kind of the same interior, and yet that's one way you can be creative in regards to the covers for these. And if you want to save it, you'd go on file and then you'd go on export as PDF, and once it's exported as PDF, it will then turn into a file that you can actually upload onto Amazon KDP, or at least that is how I do it. And yeah guys, that's how you can make your own Amazon KDP coloring book interiors. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me down in the comment section. I'll try to respond the best way I can. For anyone that made it to this point in the video, please comment down coloring book, and I'll try my best to obviously respond to as many of you guys, because it shows me that you've taken the time to actually watch the whole way through. And if you guys can drop a like on this one, and if this video does very well in terms of likes, I'll make sure to put together another tutorial showing you guys how to make a different style of KDP book you can sell through Amazon KDP. That is it for today, and always remember that everything is rigged in your favor, and manifest success.